What we're going to talk to you about today is the scams, because as y'all can imagine, there's no scams around here, right? That is our #1 issue in the villages, scams and thefts of opportunity. So we got a guy with great information we're going to talk to you about today. Detective Cohen has some stuff he's going to tell you about, but these two guys right here are experts in the field. They do a great job, so they'll have some valuable information for you. And then Captain Seymour, he's your village district commander. He's going to tell you about what we call our Sumter Safe program. It has a lot of stuff which is in the white bag we gave to you, that as the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, people look at us and say, they just put bad guys in jail. They just give us speeding tickets or whatever. There's no speeding in the villages either, right? Wow, that's funny, because that's the phone call I get every day is, why don't y'all do something about speeding? But anyway, we took a look at it, and I said, you know what? We got to do something besides traditional law enforcement, so we come up with the non-traditional law enforcement programs, which is because we realize people have, mental crisis, they have aging issues, so we look at stuff that can keep our communities safe. This not only helps y'all, but it helps us. It reduces our call volume, it keeps people safer, reduces our response times, so these programs are great. We service a population of 150,000 roughly in Sumter County. That does not include the influx of daily people that come to Sumter County, because as you know, we have the turnpike, we have the interstate, we have a big labor force that comes to Sumter County every day. So there's no telling. I don't even want to estimate what the number of people is that in Sumter County Sheriff's Office are responsible for. And this is all in a little over 500 square mile area. So these programs are great. So we're going to talk about this program today, answer any questions you may have, and y'all utilize them, because please, they're all free. And one thing I know Captain Seymour is going to say, you say this all the time. Everybody asks, what about Crime Watch? Y'all are our Crime Watch. See something, say something. Yeah. We always preach it. See something, say something. We've solved a lot of crime just by y'all calling in something that you may think seems small, could solve a big crime. So if you see something that don't look right, please call the Sumter County Sheriff's Office and let us know. That's what we're there for. So, and if y'all see me sneak out a little early, today is my grandbaby's first birthday party. So, I don't want to get called out and miss the grandbaby's first birthday. So, but thank y'all for having me here today. Bless y'all, and y'all have a great day. And I'm going to turn it over to Captain Seymour, our village district commander. He's going to tell you all about what's in the white bag. So, please use it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shepard. Appreciate that. Did everybody get a white bag? Is anybody missing one? Raise your hand. Did you get it? Yes, I'd like to talk to you guys about the non-traditional law enforcement stuff that we offer here at the agency. The first thing I'd like to talk to you guys about is the File Light program. That comes with this file. I need a sample for each of you before you leave. So I'm just kidding. I did that to a news group one time. Someone got up, started walking out. I'm like, I'm kidding, come on. That also goes along with this staple piece of paper that's in your bag. Does anybody participate with File Light? Okay, we got a couple. What we ask you to do is on the second page of this, is enough room for 2 people in a household, top and bottom. Put anything and everything that you would like us to know about you as first responders, like medically. So if you have what kind of medication you're on, what kind of illnesses that you have, who's your doctors. If you may want to write on here, hey, if I'm ever rushed to the hospital, I can't talk to you, please call my son or daughter or whoever. Whatever your wishes are, put on here as well. If you happen to live in a household with somebody that has Alzheimer's or dementia, make sure you write that on here as well. Because the last thing we want to do is come to your house and treat you for heart attack or stroke or something like that, where you could communicate with us and leave your house and leave that loved one there by themselves. So if someone does have some type of special needs in your house, please indicate to us what you would like to do with that person. You just call your neighbor or a family member or whatever the case may be. Then we ask you to take that piece of paper, tear it off, and you roll it up and you place it inside this file. Then we ask you to take this file and place it in your refrigerator. More importantly, place it in your refrigerator door. If you put it on the shelf, all the food left over is going to push it all the way to the back. And you can see the more of that because you want them out of your refrigerator as quickly as possible. They will eat all your food. I'm kidding. Then inside the file, there's also a magnet. We ask you to put the magnet on the front of your refrigerator. And there's a sticker. We ask you to place a sticker on your front door. All of our first responders know to look for these stickers. If they see them, or that magnet, and they see it, they know you participate in this program. And if we come to your house for any type of medical emergency, and we see that sticker, we'll know to go to the refrigerator and get this, and this could give us a lot of great information about you. So, please participate in it. Oh, I should ask this question. How many people here are from Sumter County? Oh, the majority. What about Lake County? Got a couple Lake guys. What about Marion County? Okay, no Marion. Okay, good. Lake County has this exact same program. Ours is better, of course, but it has the same. Joke. Yes, you do. If you're from Lake County, just get one there. Okay? Their sticker's a little bit different. We just upgraded our stickers to this one. But yeah, I would get their stickers so they know. The second program I'd like to talk to you guys about. Now, this is not inside your bag because this does not pertain to anybody, or it doesn't pertain to everybody. But if you are interested in this program, just raise your hand and I brought a bunch of them up here. This is our Peace of Mind program. This program is designed for people who live alone, that have no problem living by themselves, but they just need to be checked on once a day. If these are the people that if they fell down on the ground, they wouldn't be able to get themselves up on their own. They might need a chair or something like that, but day-to-day stuff, they're just fine. So all you have to do is just call us once a day and just say, hey, I'm okay. We'll check you off the list and we won't worry about you. If we don't hear from you though, and you're on our program, we're gonna come find you. And I'll tell you what, we save probably at least 3 lives a year with this program. This is out of my office right there at 466 and Morris Boulevard. And there's at least 3 times a year we call the people, they don't answer, so we call the key holder and we go over to the house, we go in the home, we have found that they fell. The last one that I actually went to is, we had a lady that woke up in the middle of the night, she would go to the bathroom, and when she got done, she turned to go back to the bedroom, she slipped and fell into her tub. She was upside down in her tub and couldn't get out of the tub. Well, she failed to call in that morning, so we called the key holder. I bet the key holder over there, we used the key to go into the hole, and we found her in the bathtub. And she said, she was a little embarrassed, she was in her nightgown, but we got the ambulance there, we got her checked out, she was fine. But she did tell me something. She said, you know, I have a daughter and I speak to her once a week. And I just spoke to her yesterday. And there could have been a potential. I could have laid in that bathtub for at least a few days before anybody started worrying about me. So that's the last thing we want is anybody to be lying on the ground somewhere or in a bathtub for 3 or 4 days. So if you participate in this program or if you know somebody that could benefit from this program, please let us know. And again, none of these programs we're talking about cost any money to you guys whatsoever. All right? Yes, ma'am.
What if you're in Lake County? Is it a separate thing?
Lake County has their own program. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the program like they had in the Illinois suburbs where you can get a box to put over your door with your key in it?
She's talking, yeah, they have they're talking about a box with a key in it to your house. The village's public safety does offer something called a knock box. We don't do them, but they do. All the fire departments or all the fire trucks have that key that can open that lock up and get your key out of there and put your front door. It's actually a pretty safe way of doing it. It's a steel, very rugged box that they mount to your house, and they put a key in there, your house key, and they lock it up. And like I said, all the fire trucks have one of those keys in there. And it is very secure as well, because it's actually in a box that's locked. And you have to put each one of the firemen have a code, and they know when they go in and out of that box. So it's a very secure way of doing it. You'll have to get a hold of Village's Public Safety about that, but they do have that as well.
Is there a charge for that?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know what it is, but they do charge. You got to buy the box, and I don't know how much it
There
is.
is a charge around.
Other things that you can do as well, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but if you guys have like a keypad to your garage to get in, or if you have a hide key, you can always call the sheriff's office, and we can put that in under the notes in your address. So that way the deputies get there. We're going to talk about all these programs about that very shortly. The next thing I'd like to talk to you guys about is the Sheriff's Office sent a handful of deputies to school to learn how to do home security inspections. So they'll come to your house and do a free home security inspection, and it takes about 45 minutes. They'll talk to you about window lighting and door lighting. They'll talk about window locks and door locks, all that kind of stuff. But one thing, I'm not certified in it, but I have been with the guys when they went and did this. And one of the things that I really like is they talk about putting a peephole. Does everybody know what a peephole is? We used to have them when we had solid doors, look outside, and you can see outside. Installing one in the door that goes from your laundry room into your garage. That's actually a fireproof door. It's a solid door. If someone ever broke into your house and they got into your garage, the last thing you want to do is open that door and expose yourself to a potential danger. You can easily lock that door, just look through the peephole and see what's going on there. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story, but I hope the person in here is not here that I'm going to tell a story about. I'm going to get back to this, like, I don't have to tell you if I have to. That lady, she lived by herself. She woke up in the middle of the night. She thought she'd hurt somebody in her garage. She carried a revolver in her nightstand. She got up with that revolver, went into her laundry room and fired all 6 bullets into that door. She killed her car. She knocked the wind out of her head. There was nobody in there. But now, really, good thing for her, she got 6 people. She was like, what you might look for. The sheriff's office, I recommend you put the people that way. That is installed properly. If you're interested in it, it's like I said, we do it Monday through Friday from the hours of 8 to 4. We'll come out and do the inspection for you guys, and we'll do it at your convenience too. The deputies have plenty of leeway to put you on a calendar and get out there and do that for you. That's that trifold piece of paper in your bag. Next thing I'd like to talk to you guys about is we take Alzheimer's at Sumter County Sheriff's Office very seriously. We understand that I think the Alzheimer's Association estimates our population has Alzheimer's that can wander off. It's about 10% of our population. That's a lot of people. So we've taken steps to take care of that, or try to minimize people from wandering. The first thing that we did is we ended up getting scent kits. Scent kits are a great way to get 1 scent of a person into a jar, a glass jar, and historically, before this, we used to come to your house and your loved one wandered off. We'd ask you for maybe a dirty t-shirt the person was wearing. Or we might take your pillowcase off, the pillowcase that you sleep with, he or she sleeps on, sticks it in a paper bag, present it to the dog, and they go off and find them. The problem with those types of scent articles is they're very contaminated. Just us being in a room together, we're contaminating each other's scent. This is a great way to get 1 person's scent into a jar, glass jar, and all you do is you have your loved one just take the sterile gauze that's in here, wipe it all over their body, get as much scent as you can on it, place it inside that jar, and then you put there's a sticker that goes on the front of the jar, just put their name, their address, the date it was collected. The reason for that is this is actually guaranteed for 7 years. The company's guaranteed for 7 years. And it also comes with a pair of latex gloves. So if the person that has Alzheimer's or dementia and couldn't do this by themselves, and you have to help them, wear the latex gloves. But also on the sticker, there's a place where it says who collected the scent. So put your name there as well. So if we send our dogs out there, canine dogs out there to go look for somebody, at least they could know, well, there's potential there may be 2 people inside this scent jar. Other things that we did as well, we actually wrote a federal grant. We are only 1 of 5 counties in the United States to get awarded this federal grant money for Alzheimer's. So when we took that money, we actually bought GPS watches that lock on the wrist. It requires a key to unlock it. And I'll tell you what, we started out a little over 2 years ago, and we have found that our calls for service to go find people that have Alzheimer's that wandered off were cut in half, 50%. That's remarkable. And we went from locating people takes 20 to 40 minutes to find somebody, about an average, went down to seconds. Because all you have to do is if they're wearing a watch, the caretaker can pull their smartphone out, open the app, hit the locate button, and know exactly where they're at. It's been a huge money saver for us. We take it, like I said, we take this very seriously. If your loved one wanders off, we'll get the canines, the helicopter, we'll call deputies in that are off duty, paying the overtime. So this has definitely saved us a lot of money, and got the loved ones home quicker as well. So it's fantastic. So if you know anybody that has Alzheimer's, please come see us. I got the information up here, get it to them so we can get this information out to them. I think we have a little over 100 people in the watch program right now, so it works out pretty good. The other thing I'd like to talk to you guys about, I don't know if you do this, but we actually have a free app, Sumter County Sheriff's Office app. In the app, you can see, you learn about the Sheriff's Office, you can submit tips, you see the sex offenders in the area. We actually have the 10 most wanted, and that's kind of funny when we talk about that with our crime stuff. Jeff will talk about that. They have an inmate search. I don't know why you're searching inmates. I said that to one group one time. I said, yeah, you're searching inmates. Somebody goes, oh, great, a dating site. I'm like, no. What's wrong with you? scam button. Are you gonna talk about the scam button? He's gonna talk about scam stuff. And there's actually a community crime map on there as well. You can pull up and see all the different types of crime that going within our county, like collecting areas. When you open it up though, you'll see Bushville has a big red dot on it. It's not because Bushville is crime ridden, that's where our jail is at, so don't get too excited about that. This is actually not a Sumter County Sheriff's Office thing that's put together. This is a county thing. The Sumter County actually put this together. It's called Alert Sumter. Alert Sumter is a great way to get weather alerts and very accurate weather alerts. If you register with your address that you live at, you can put up the 2 telephones on it to get notifications. It can be a cell phone, a landline, or 2 cell phones, whatever you want to do, and they'll notify you if there's any bad weather that's going to take place in your area. They'll actually, you can get phone calls, emails, text messages, things like that. There's 2 ways of doing it. There's actually a website on the bottom of it that you can sign up yourself. And if you're like me, not really great with computers, there's a telephone number at the bottom as well. All you have to do is call them and tell them what you want. They'll sign you up for it. Now, that's all of our non-traditional programs that we have. But before I go and turn it over to Technical, I want to talk to you guys about the SAVE program that we put together. There's a card back there with some QR codes on the back. You can scan that, and it's an application. And if you decide to take part in any of our non-traditional stuff that we offer, you can actually fill that application out, and whatever information you give us, what's great about that, we take that information, we assign it to your address, so that way, if we ever go to your house for any reason, if we get a 911 call to your house, we get sent to your house, all the deputies' cars have computers in them, they pop up your address and it'll give you all that information. So before the deputy gets to your house, he'll know that you're part of the Peace of Mind program or the BioLife program, or if someone lives in your house that has Alzheimer's. He'll know all that information prior to getting there. So if you decide to take part in any of our programs, please do this part of it as well so we have a better idea. Well, I think we try to keep our response time under, 6 minutes for average calls. Obviously, if it's something in progress or something bad, we're there within minutes. So I'm actually pretty proud of our response time. We get the deputy there as quickly as we possibly can. Yes, ma'am.
With the sign-up thing, do you have to do it with the villages separately, or if you do it one time, does it count for anybody that's coming at 911?
You're talking about?
You said give us the information so we know when we're on our way to come help you, information. So if someone calls 911 in the villages, are y'all the ones coming, or do we need to give them the information separately?
Yep, if you do this information, law enforcement, firemen, EMTs will all have this information.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a program where you partner with people with security cameras?
Oh, yes, we do have that. Are you going to talk about Project Eagle Eye? Or you do? I get it. Okay, yeah, we do have that. We have something called Eagle Eye. What it is it's on this application too. You download the app. That's another thing they'll ask you about as well. If you guys have security cameras on the outside of your house or even on the inside of your house, let's say maybe the street or something, you can actually let us know that you have those. And if we have a crime in the area, we'll pull that up and we'll go, oh, these 3 people live really close to where this crime took place. And we'll call you and say, hey, would you please look at your security footage from last night or whatever the case may be. And if you happen to have something, let us know. And you're not giving us access to your security cameras. We'll ask you to go ahead and look at your own stuff and let us know if you see anything. And if you have it, please call. Yes, ma'am.
So I live in the village of Osceola Hills, Soaring Eagle, and we had 2 days in a row, I think, it didn't happen to me, there was an attempted kidnapping. And I'm a walker. So a couple of times I was warned, have a whistle, blah, blah. And they described the car to me, and I was very aware, and I said, can't you call somebody? So supposedly they called the police department. I don't know if they did or not, and was told because no crime actually happened. They couldn't even put a warning out to let people know that there's this gray SUV driving around asking ladies to get in the car to give him directions.
Okay, I'm sure everybody's heard that. I will tell you guys this. What was on the social media sites and things like that where they're sharing information, it was a little bit exaggerated of what you guys heard.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Because I did not feel comfortable.
Yeah, you can feel, you're gonna be fine, trust me, I just could say that, it was exaggerated from what was, you know how it is, I tell you something, you tell something, and it keeps going, and next thing you know, it went from a molehill to a mountain, and basically what happened with that. So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
All right, well, are you ready to go? I would like to introduce Detective Jeff Cohen and Detective Day. They're with our white collar crimes detective. They're going to talk to you guys a little bit about scams. All right, well, thank you for letting me come out and talk.
How much time would you like me to go for? Half hour? Okay. I can go for hours, so there's.
What do you want to talk about?
Real quick first, I'm just going to go over some of the stuff I have on the table here, because some of the stuff I brought separately I think are in those bags, so I just want to make sure. You have these Be Scam Smart. 3 handsome gentlemen on them. Maybe in the one in the middle. There's some information on the back of that too, so you guys already have these. The undersheriff spoke about Crime Line. I grabbed a handful of lanyards from Crime Line with the phone number. You can remain anonymous if you'd like, and you are eligible for a monetary reward from Crime Line if your tip leads to the arrest of a suspect. All right. These are cool because you can wear the lanyard and unclip the key portion. So if you need to take your key off or something or scan your card, you can do that. So I'll leave these up here. You guys can feast on those. And also some Crime Line pens with the phone number on there as well. Again, you can remain anonymous. I don't have as many of these. Everything here is going to be left for you, but I don't have a lot of these. These are magnets, a no numbers campaign. I don't know if these are in those bags. Basically, we don't want you to give any numbers out to people you don't know on the phone or on email, like social security numbers, gift card numbers, credit card numbers, stuff like that. Those are magnets that are up here. You can take a photo if there aren't any left and keep it. They may have some more in our village annex at 466 and Morse, so you can get some of those. These are gonna, I didn't have a ton of these either. These are going to probably run really quickly, so please only take one per person. These are metallic credit card slots, metallic-based credit card slots. What these are good for is the new chip cards that emit a signal, an RFID signal. This will block that, so you don't have to worry about somebody taking your card information as you're, let's say, walking by, or if you're in a park or something, because there is technology that allows somebody to do that. So you can, it's meant for one card, you can probably squeeze 2, 3 in there, but these, and there may be some more in our village annex as well, if there's not a lot here for people, but please try and take one per person. I have also here, you can take a photo of these. I have only a few of them. The 3 credit bureaus, which we would like you to check your credit reports once a year, at least, for free. You can, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can do it online, or you can call the number. That information is on this postcard here. Very important that you do that. I'll explain that in a second. Some identity theft brochures. Most of these brochures are available, identitytheft.gov or the Federal Trade Commission. You can order them for free, and they'll ship them to you for free. So for your group, if you wanted to order a bunch, let's say, and hand them out, you could go online, look at all the brochures, see what pertains to you, and hand them out. There's a large version underneath it. How to avoid a scam, which there's a lot of ways. Some telephone scam pamphlet, and then also these are just papers that like they send you a notepad of multiple copies of these, and I usually tear one off to give me talking points at these things, and we'll discuss that, different scams and stuff. So I have no particular order I'm going in, believe me, I wing it. I don't give a presentation. This is for you. Whatever you guys want, whatever you want to ask, there's a ton of information, okay? So I'll start, I'll give Detective, we're going to go back and forth. Detective Day is going to tell you about some of the recent cases that we're getting, and hopefully, you know, you'll hear about that stuff, and you won't fall victim to it. Real quick before I do that, Captain Seymour mentioned the app. The section on the app that we monitor, along with our crime scene analyst, is on the lower left-hand corner of the main screen called Sumter Scam Sting blog. Sumter Scam Sting. What that's used for, there's two ways you can use that. One is you can click on the blog and you can read everybody's entry. And that's not a way to report a crime, but if you feel you're a victim of a scam, you got a suspicious phone call, email, door-to-door solicitation, you want people to know about it, you can select and submit a form. You can be totally anonymous. The only thing that we do ask is at least if you could put your street, you don't have to put your house number, just so we can track where things are happening. And there'll be a drop-down menu, whether it's a telephone scam, a social media scam, or email, or computer-related scam, and then they'll give you a chance to put your details down, what happened, and we'll get an alert that it was submitted to us, and we look at it, make sure it's pertinent. We'll take out some of the curse words, clean it up a little bit, and as long as you have the push notification enabled on your phone, which means you get a ding anytime there's a new entry, you'll get a ding that we posted it and you can read about it. And our hope with that is that you'll read about it. You know, you could just sit one day if you're, you know, just sitting around, you want to read things. The hope is that if something happens to you in the future and you say, this may be a scam, hey, I remember reading about that, I better not do this, that's it. No other law enforcement agency that I know of, and we deal with a lot of agencies, has this feature. Lake doesn't have it, Fruitland Park doesn't have it, Lady Lake, nobody. We have it, okay? Our administration is extremely proactive. We do those presentations, any group that wants to have us, we do them, because we want to lose you as a victim. We don't want customers. We want you to keep your hard-earned money, and we don't want you to get taken advantage of. So our administration is great. We're always going to training classes because you always have to keep up on it. Because criminals are having seminars just like this where they're going over new techniques. And sometimes, unfortunately, we're a step behind, right? Because we don't know about something until it happens. But then we partner with agencies and we go to training and try and learn things. And
What's that feature called?
Sumter Scam Sting. It's on the lower left-hand corner of the app. Make sure when you download the app, by the way, it's Sumter County Sheriff's Office, Florida. There's a South Carolina. They probably have a lot of great information, but it's not going to take you. So Detective Dave is going to tell you about some of the new cases we're getting.
I'm Detective Blaine Dave with Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Like he said, I've been working with the Sheriff's Office for approximately 7 years. 1 year of it being in CID. Before coming back to the fraud division, I was with the family crimes division, mostly going over domestic violences and risk protection orders. Since being in the fraud department, I've been learning from him. He's the master. I'm his protege, I guess, but he's been teaching me everything I know. Mostly what I've been getting recently is gift card scams. You get an email, hey, your Amazon order is not right, call us at this number. You'll call, you'll get a person on the phone, they'll say, oh, okay, yeah. Well, we need to get you that money back, but first, can you send us $3,000 via Green Dot cards, and we'll send you all your money back. That's not how it works. So they'll have you stay on the phone, go buy gift cards at CVS, Walgreens, or wherever, and then send them the codes on the back and never to be contacted again. And once they get that money from those gift cards, it is very hard to trace. I reach out, do subpoenas to these different companies, and you can see this money within seconds, it's overseas. So, and then there's also grandkid scams, them calling up, hey, your grandson has a warrant, or he was arrested, or he was in a crash, he needs $5,000. You can send it via PayPal, Zelle, any of those resources, or you can go to your bank and get $5,000 out, and I'll have someone come pick it up from you. We've had that happen. They usually use Uber drivers or Lyft drivers. They come out right to the house. Then, you know, the Lyft driver doesn't know anything. He's just picking up a package. He's just the delivery guy. He doesn't know. And he comes, picks up the package, and he takes it. You know, I can trace it down to Miami, and it's gone. And then another big one we've been having is cryptocurrency. Who knows what cryptocurrency is? Who uses cryptocurrency? No. All right. So they'll have someone again call. They'll call up. Or you could call. You know, I had one. Someone was looking for Geek Squad. If you type it in on Google, and the first thing comes up might not be Geek Squad. It's just a sponsored ad. Their name might be Geek Squad, but it might not be the legitimate business. So they'll call them hoping to get their computer fixed, and then they'll be ending up getting $5,000 going to the local Bitcoin ATM at one of these gas stations around here. You can get to one within minutes and making a Bitcoin transaction and sending Bitcoin through a crypto wallet to someone in China, someone somewhere overseas, and it's very hard to track that money because once you send it to their wallet, they're sending it to 3 other wallets, and then back to another wallet, and then to another wallet, just to try to hinder me from investigating where this money is being led. And it's very hard to track where that money goes. Has anybody else gotten any emails like that? Yeah? Have you called those numbers? Very good.
Somebody has.
You'd be very surprised. It happens. I get one at least every day. I get one of those reports, and it's sad, and because it can be as little as 5,000. I've had up to $500,000. Yep. Easy, and it's in a day gone. So, anyone have any questions for me? Go ahead.
What about paying for gas at a gas station? I read somewhere that you shouldn't pay with a credit card.
You should pay with a credit card instead of a debit card.
Yes, credit card is better than debit. And when you go to the machine, you can give it a little tug on it. And if something pops off, that means there's a scanner on there, like a thing comes off. Or if it's hard to put in your card, that can also mean something is inside the machine. You can also utilize Apple Pay. Apple Pay is very good at the pump. I think, is there Android Pay? Is that accepted at the gas pumps too?
I'm not sure. A lot of the gas stations, they have to pay for the upgrades. So the small mom and pop ones may not.
Yes.
But what he's talking about, when you go to the gas pump, use your credit card because it's not your bank account money, it's the credit card company's money. Yes, it may, we're talking if your card is a debit or a credit, right? If it says Visa on it or MasterCard and it's your bank's card, use it as the credit card because you're not giving away your bank information. Even though it may come out of your bank account, it's the credit card's money. And I think the credit card company can only hold you responsible for a maximum of like $50, and it's faster to get your money back. If you give your debit card number, now you have to put in your PIN. So they have that. And what scammers were doing is they were putting pinhole cameras on the card reader above the pump to see what you're typing in. And it's very easy to clone a card. I know how to do it. It's very easy. It takes seconds.
Can you show how?
Can I have your credit card? So it's extreme. Anything with a magnetic strip on the back can be coded as a credit card. We were stopping people with restaurant gift cards, prepaid credit cards, hotel room keys. Anything with a mag strip can be put as credit card information. So you should use it as a credit card. Now, when there's a skimmer inside the pump, usually they're not doing the overlays anymore where you tug on it and if it's loose it'll come off. You can still do that, but the skimmers are inside. You're not going to know it's there because it's inside the pump. What they have is called the shimmer, which goes inside the card reader, and that's what he was talking about. If you put your card in and it's super tight to get in there, you may want to go to a different pump because they put them in there. They also now have overlays they're putting on ATMs to look just like it's supposed to be, the facade of the ATM, and you're not going to know it's not that. So just be cognizant when you're going up to these machines or even the terminals in the store, the credit card terminals. It's very easy for them to pop a new one over the existing keypad, and you're not going to know because you're not supposed to know. You don't work there. But one of the indicators, you know, you give it a little jiggle. If it's loose and it comes off, because they're just affixed by glue. It's a quick job where they're taking them and putting them on. Somebody will distract the clerk and somebody else will just put it right over. And, you know, give it a jiggle. If a lot of them, the keys are supposed to light up. If you see one where the keys are not lit up, don't use it. And you think, well, how's that possible in a store where they can do that? Well, in the small stores, a couple people will go in there, one person will distract the clerk. We're talking like one of the gas station convenience stores, they'll ask to go see, can you show me some vapes or something over here? And then the other person will throw it on. Walmart or Target, one of these big stores, overnight, have you ever gone to, and I hate targeting individual stores, but have you ever gone to Walmart late at night? For 9, 10, 11, right? There's nobody around. All the workers are worried about stocking the shelves. The registers are empty. They could put stuff on every single one of those and nobody's going to know. And it's really quick to do it. Yes.
Are tap better than?
So the tap is a new technology. The traditional chip, the EMV chip that were on the cards, that little gold or silver, that acts like a flash drive where there's like 6 points on there. Some of them are bigger, maybe 8 points. That only disseminates information when it's entered into the card reader and the metal of that chip interacts with the metal contacts in the reader, right? So that's the only way that information can come off that chip. Now the new chips that you see with the 3 squiggly lines, that is, you can do, you don't have to insert your card. You can wave it in front of the reader and it'll, you know, pick out your credit card information. That is supposed to be encrypted. But as I said earlier, there are ways where people can have scanners nearby and pick up signals and gather them. So it is supposed to be encrypted. There's nothing that's 100% full. Who here thinks they're never going to be a victim of identity theft because they're super careful? Nobody? There's stuff that's out of your control. There could be a data breach at a business you do business with, a doctor's office. We've had people all over, employees of doctor's offices, businesses that have done stuff. We've had people that have stolen mail. Think of all the personal information in mail. So you can be as careful as you want. It doesn't mean you're impenetrable. There's stuff that's out of your control. So we want you to pay attention. That's why we're suggesting you check your credit reports. Has anybody ever checked a credit report before? So the reasons, obviously, for checking your credit report is not just to look for anomalies with credit accounts or bank accounts, but look for addresses and names and email addresses and phone numbers. And don't just dismiss it if you see one that's different and think it may just be a typo, because that could be somebody that has applied for a card in your name or a loan or an account, and that's where they're sending the bills to. Which is also why you have to make sure mail that you regularly receive, if you stop receiving it, go to the post office. Somebody could have put a change of address order in for you. You can do it online. That's how easy it is. So they do that because when they're applying for these fraudulent cards, they want to try and legitimize the application so it goes through, and they will put all your correct information so the card company thinks, okay, it's going to, you know, Moyer Loop, whatever, but once it gets to the Postal Service, they have a change of address and it's actually going to Miami or New York. Yes.
Do you recommend freezing your credit with the 3 major reporting companies?
So you can now, yes, I believe now it's free. It used to be where you had to be a victim of identity theft. Does everybody know about freezing your credit? Okay, so what that is if you put a freeze on your credit, nobody is supposed to be able to open a line of credit in your name without you getting a telephone call authorizing that. But we just spoke at a group yesterday, and the topic of telephone number porting came up. Does everybody know what that is? That's where, if you, who's your cell phone carrier?
AT&T.
AT&T. So somebody will take your phone number, move it from AT&T to Verizon without telling you, and copy over your SIM contacts and stuff through the cloud, and now your phone is a dud and it's going to somebody else. So now you have that credit freeze and somebody's applying for a credit card at Best Buy. Best Buy is going to call the number they have for you, thinking it's your legitimate number, but now it goes to her because she's ported your number. Yeah, she's gonna say, yeah, it's me, go ahead and put it through, of course, and it's gonna go, so you have to be careful. You can't prevent that. The phone forwarding, unfortunately, you can't prevent, but checking your credit report is super important.
Every Saturday.
Yes.
The scenario that you just gave happened to my husband. I don't know who worked it. Happened to my husband. He went to use his card.
I
Somebody
got
called in about his
It was
card.
American Express.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then changed his mailing address so that the new card would go to them.
Yeah. So that's why credit report, you know, checking all that information. Well, yes. Or with the, right.
Okay. We've been having scanning of our credit cards. They will send us a new one. We don't even have it in our hand with a new number. And it's already been charged.
That has happened to people.
Yeah, I mean,
To trace what happened is, I don't know specifically because it's before you've received it. It could be somebody, what they'll do is somebody in the post office could open it, look at the number, reseal it again. We've had an incident, one of our sheriff's office checks got hijacked. And because I'm me, I got us the money back in 2 hours. And what happened is, and this will apply to you guys too, we were mailing, our finance department mailed a check to one of our vendors, okay? The vendor, though they're a Florida business, uses a P.O. box, because they have a billing service, in Atlanta, Georgia, okay? So we thought we were mailing the check to the P.O. box, as the billing said, and it got intercepted and somebody cashed the check in New Jersey. And I got her on camera, but she's from Brooklyn, New York. That's how elaborate these things are. So what I discovered was the P.O. box that the company uses is just a drop box. So picture a room like this with a bunch of bins that Captain Seymour had just laying on the floor, and you're mailing it to this company, it gets dropped in that bin, dropped in that bin, dropped in that bin, and it's open. Anybody can walk in and take it, and that's what happened. And in Atlanta, the postal inspector said they were having an investigation about internal theft up there because all that stuff's wide open. And a lot of the postal service, they use contractors. There have been incidents in the past here with contractors going into mail stations and taking the mail out, okay? It's a great place to live, it's super safe, but again, it's open to, if somebody's having a bad day or they're down on their luck and they see an opportunity, they're gonna take it. And I've arrested somebody multiple times for stealing mail. She would steal mail, we work with a postal inspector, the postal inspectors, they would mail out letters to the potential victim saying, or not the potential, the people whose mail she had on her, saying you may be a victim of identity theft, okay? She would be, before we caught her, this was happening to her. And then our deputies would stop her on the traffic stop and she would have more people's mail and those letters, meaning she was stealing the same people's mail. So she's now, I believe, in federal custody. Finally, we caught her. She denied it. She claims she does taxes. She does not do taxes. Yes. Yeah.
What we ended up doing, my husband said, we just got this one, a Prime card, Visa, and he says, I want it put in the mail now, overnight to me. I don't want it coming through regular mail. So hopefully this is going to work.
And unfortunately with that too, sometimes when people are ordering fraudulent things, they will wait for the truck to get there and intercept it while somebody's at work or away. And especially if you don't know you're expecting something, they can wait there for it and you'll never know you're missing it. So FedEx usually has a policy where you have to, because this happened a couple of years ago, the FedEx driver told the person the scammer had shown up and was waiting and said, oh, that's mine. He made some excuse why he needed it. And the FedEx driver said, well, open the front door and I'll give it to you. And the guy put it, right? So it wasn't his house. So that is super important. The no numbers campaign, again, with your social security numbers, all that stuff is in mail. And you know, don't give that to anytime you're getting an unsolicited call. I know I'm jumping around, but I'm looking at my watch. You don't know who's calling you. The sheriff's office will never call you and tell you you missed jury duty. We won't call you and solicit a donation. We won't call you and tell you you have a warrant for your arrest. People tend not to stick around when so you don't know who you're calling or you're speaking to. Hang up and call a legitimate number. Like Detective Day said, be careful if you're Googling a place. It may not be the real number. Look at the number on the back of your bank card or credit card. And know that that could be the real number, right? Don't just trust we've had victims that fall for it. Those companies pay to get their listing first. So people will call, so you don't know. Gift cards, you shouldn't have to spend money, unless you run a business, you shouldn't have to spend money to make money, right? There's no reason out there that somebody's gonna call you and ask you for a gift card or cryptocurrency.
That's such a grandchild.
Hang up, yeah, hang up, even if it is your grandchild, hang up, and call your grandchild and make sure they're not in jail. Because maybe your grandchild did get arrested and they're sitting in jail, but Detective Cohen said, I can't give you any money. Hang up and actually call them and make sure. And when you hear the scams, it's, hey, you know, I'm in jail. I hurt somebody in a crash and they arrested me, but now you're supposed to take a gift card and send it over to Peru or Bolivia or Panama. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. The bail bondsmen, they take cash or, you know, collateral. They're not going to take gift cards. And they'll say, oh, my attorney's getting on the phone with me or whatever. And just be very leery of who's calling you. We've even had people trying to say they work for the sheriff's office. And unfortunately, I've called victims when I've got to sign a case and I call them and they hang up. They don't want to believe me. It's me. That's happened. I'm like, don't hang up. It's me.
We had several of the grandparent calls. We have 3 of our 7 grandchildren in college. And one of them called from jail, but supposedly. My husband went there to another room and called, and he was asleep, actually. But the other thing that you didn't mention, besides calling and checking on your grandchild, is the voice. The voice was so convincing.
Now with AI, they're doing, I had one where, you know, there's AI and they'll make it like it's an actor, or the romance scams. That's another one too. The romance scams, the online dating, that's a big one because once they tell you they love you, they're going to start asking for money. That's when people are willing to send money. Yes.
When I first got here, everybody told me, which was about 6 or 7 years ago, to destroy any mail that had my name and address on it, you know, the envelope or whatever. And I did that for years. And it's a lot of work. I mean,
Get a shredder.
Do it by hand or you
Get a
shred
shredder.
it or whatever. So recently people told me, don't bother, nothing's going to happen. What do you say?
Something's going to happen. Get a shredder. I picked one up at Sam's for like 65 bucks. The thing's great. You can put a lot of sheets in there. It does cross shredding too, so it'll cut it both ways, not just a single shred. Yeah, I shred everything. So the IRS too. Has everybody filed their taxes yet? Has anybody not filed their taxes? Okay, so we do not investigate tax scams, the IRS does. So when you go to file your taxes, if your tax preparer tells you that they cannot submit your tax return, thank you, because somebody else has, then there's an IRS form 14039 that you can get on irs.gov. You submit that form to the IRS and they will investigate it. We don't investigate those at the sheriff's office. I don't have the jurisdiction to access their records, okay? if the IRS sends you a letter saying that somebody filed a fictitious or a fraudulent return or suspicious return and they're investigating it, you don't have to fill out that form, okay? The IRS will not call you and tell you you have back taxes, you have to pay and get this gift card and stuff like that, okay? So the IRS scams, that stuff that comes around, the lottery scams, you've won. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you win a lottery you have not entered? No? Right? So, if you get a call that you've won 2 Mercedes and $15 million and all this crazy stuff, and you have to send money in order to pay the taxes to get it, but you've not entered, our raffle is free. I'm telling you, that's 100% free. Okay? Which, by the way, before we pull it, if anybody has not gotten a raffle ticket, we'll get your raffle ticket. But you should not have to spend money if you're owed money. Okay? So if you've not entered a lottery or Publishers Clearinghouse, chances are you're not going to win. Pretty good chance, right? So yes.
This is, the Sunshine State means that anything
We can't hear it.
in the, that you turn in the government as far as information is available on any website?
The Sunshine Law? Your information is available on the internet. She asked about it. I think what she's asking is if your information available on the internet. You can you have to go to each entity and submit a thing to remove your name. I found it. There's a lot of websites that collect people's information and you can get it. You pay a fee and it'll give you information on somebody. So the easiest way is if you go to, like, say, Google and type in your name and see what pops up, you may see it on like peoplefinder.com or truthsomething.com, and you have to go on each of those entities and find your listing and then submit to have it removed. I found my name, I had it removed, so that is possible. The dark web, have you all heard of the dark web? Yes. It's a real thing. Your information is on there. You can buy drugs, guns, people, anything, cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency there's legitimate ways to get cryptocurrency and then illegal ways so that you're anonymous. And that's on the dark web. Once somebody has your name or social security number, they can use it forever because that's not going to change. Now, if somebody steals your credit card, physically, they're probably going to use it right away because you're going to call and cancel. But if they have your personal information, that's on there forever. That's why you always have to check your credit reports. Green Jack.
You know what, this is off the beaten path a little bit. How about hotel cards to get into the room? I was told, don't return it because all your information is on it. Do you have any idea?
So your personal information, as far as, I don't think your address and stuff is on there, but it's up to the hotel what they put on there. Now, I have like a credit card reader that I can use, so when we were encountering these people with the gift cards or the hotel room keys, we swipe the mag strip and anybody with a computer can see what's on there. You can buy those card readers online. There's ones that'll make a copy of a card and some that'll just read it. But I don't know, so I could see, but most people don't have that where they're going to carry it around with them and see what's on that hotel key. I don't know what information's on there. Whether they charge you for the key or not, I'm not sure. But that brings up another good point. Wi-Fi. When you go to a hotel or you go to any public place and your phone shows up Wi-Fi available, be careful what you're clicking on. There's a lot of people that will put fake Wi-Fi hotspots in a hotel to get people to sign into it. So what I tell people is if you're ever in a public place and you go to sign into Wi-Fi, usually there's one step you have to take before signing on. They usually make you accept their terms and conditions. If you don't see that and you can sign on right away, I probably wouldn't. Maybe a small pizza place probably won't, but be careful because you don't know what the Wi-Fi is supposed to be. So ask the hotel, ask them what their Wi-Fi is supposed to be so that you don't click on and connect to the wrong one and give somebody access to your phone. okay? So be careful with that. And I've seen that happen too. It's very easy to make a fake one. AT&T, their policy with their cell phones is they will connect automatically to any Wi-Fi hotspot that says ATT Wi-Fi, all right? It's easy to make a fake one that says that. So all the phones, I've seen it done at a conference, and they showed all the people's phones that connected to it. So you can turn it off on your phone, the feature where you connect to Wi-Fi automatically. That's one way to look at it, but be careful. Does everybody know what a QR code is? Yes. They're on the back of those pamphlets where I happen to be on, right? Ours is legitimate, but when you go to a public place and you see it somewhere, you don't know what QR code you're clicking on and what you're going to be downloading to your phone. So be careful of that too.
One more. She's had her hand up a long time.
Hi, thank you. My husband and I were at Walmart the other night, and he put in our debit card, which I'm listening to you, we should be more careful. And the salesperson said it didn't work, put it back in. I said to my husband, because I'm not trusting, he's way too trusting. I said, okay, let him keep the groceries. I don't want to put the card in again. What should we do?
So the card readers will require that you try your chip like 3 times before you can use the mag strip. Right. There are ways that criminals are making fake chips to put on their forged cards because they have the information on the strip, not the chip. So they'll put it in to make it look like, hey, I tried, and then you can try it. Right. It's more secure with the chip, but you can use the strip as a backup. However, with businesses, if they accept your credit card with the mag strip instead of the chip, and there's a chargeback because you called in and said that wasn't me, the business is responsible for the money because they didn't follow the proper procedure. I know I'm done. Does everybody have a raffle ticket? Anybody does not have a raffle ticket?
Yeah, we have one more question. I think Melinda had her hand up. Melinda?
Every other day, I'm getting an email from UPS saying we tried to deliver something.
That's a scam.
You can block it. You can put it to spam when you're deleting the email or the text message on your phone. You can block it.
Let me ask one question. I get calls all the time from the sheriff's department. Are they legit? You know, to donate money to the sheriff's department?
That's not legit. It's not legit. There is no such thing as a Florida Trooper Deputy organization. We have fundraisers for the Benevolent Fund. We have our golf tournament in the summer. We have right now Tip a Comp, where we work at a couple of restaurants with the people to raise money. We'll have a couple of pancake breakfasts, I think, to raise money for kids' cops for Christmas. So we don't call soliciting funds.
Okay, that's good to know.
Do I have the drawing?
Yes. Anybody else? Last chance that needs a ticket. Pick some you want to pick whatever it is. The basket, by the way, contains a safe. It contains some counterfeit marking pens. So if you get a bill, like $1, $5, whatever, and you want to mark it to see if it's counterfeit, it's not an end all, okay, but it is a chip. And then there's some candy.
Okay, does everybody have a raffle ticket?
Yes.
Okay.
Last chance. And that basket was made by our community outreach coordinator, Beth Hunt. I can't take credit. She does great stuff, so she designed it all.
610748.
No shit.